Hi friends, welcome to Blacksmiths 31. I'm Sai Lakshmi. Hope you are doing well. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the differences between TRIM, LTRIM and RTRIM functions in Tableau. Let's get started. TRIM function in Tableau returns the string with leading and trailing spaces removed. The syntax is right below, trim of string. So as the name suggests, TRIM trims the leading and trailing spaces and gives us the string alone. So the example is like this. Trim of calculation equal to calculation. The difference between the calculations which is inside the trim and the result is the spaces. So there is a space available here. This is called leading space because it is at the beginning of the string. There is a space here. This is called trailing space because it is at the end of the string. So it trims both the spaces and returns the string. Let's understand what is LTRIM. LTRIM function in Tableau returns the string with leading spaces removed. So LTRIM function only focuses on the leading spaces. The syntax is like this: LTRIM of string. Let's see the example. LTRIM of calculation equal to calculation. If you observe here, the difference between the calculation within the LTRIM and the calculation in the we got in the result is here we have two spaces. One is at the beginning and one is at the end. But in the result, we have no space at the beginning and there is space at the end. That's because we have used LTRIM. So when we use LTRIM, only the beginning space will get trimmed and trailing space will be as is. RTRIM function in Tableau returns the string with the trailing spaces removed. So RTRIM only focuses on the trailing spaces and it trims the trailing spaces and returns us the string. The syntax is right below, RTRIM of string. And the example is like this: RTRIM of calculation equal to calculation. But the difference between the calculation we got in the result is, so we have a space over here and we have a space at the end of the string as well. So it will only focus on the trailing space, which is nothing but this, and it will trim that particular space and returns the string. Let's understand the difference now. So trim focuses both on leading as well as trailing spaces, whereas LTRIM focuses only on leading spaces and RTRIM focuses only on trailing spaces. And the syntax of trim is trim of string, and syntax of LTRIM is LTRIM of string, and the syntax of RTRIM is RTRIM of string. So the difference, if you observe, trim of calculation equal to calculation. So the difference is we have space at the beginning as well as ending of the string passed within trim function, but we got the string with no spaces. So that's what trim does. So it will remove both the spaces and returns the string. Whereas if you observe LTRIM, there is space at the beginning of LTRIM as well as beginning of calculation as well as space at the end of the calculation, but it focused only on the beginning part, so it ignored the end space and returned the string. So whereas RTRIM, there are spaces the same way, like I have passed the same string along with two spaces at the beginning as well as end for trim, LTRIM and RTRIM, but the result is different because it focuses on leading and trailing spaces. That's why we got both the spaces trimmed and we got string alone. But if you observe here, it focuses only on leading spaces. That's why only leading space got trimmed and we got remaining string as is. So it focuses only on trailing spaces. That's why we got only trailing space removed, remaining string as is. So this is how you can understand the difference between trim, LTRIM and RTRIM. Let me open Tableau desktop application and I can show the difference practically. So I have opened Tableau desktop application. So this is a data set I have created on my own. Let me open the spreadsheet as well. So within the spreadsheet, I simply provided some records, books, chairs, likewise I provided some records manually. And with each and every record, I provided space at the beginning, and there are some records which has spaces at the ending, and there are some records which has both spaces at the beginning as well as ending. So this is a perfect data set for us to understand the difference between trim, LTRIM and RTRIM. So I have opened Tableau desktop and I have used the same dataset within Tableau desktop application. So I brought the product column into the row shelf. So let me create a new sheet and rename it as difference between trim, L, LTRIM and RTRIM. So now our data is a combination of records with both spaces and records with a space at the beginning and records with space at the ending. So let me bring product first. Now that I brought the product into the sheet, let me create calculated fields using trim, LTRIM and RTRIM. So we have the dataset right here, and beneath that there's an option to create a calculated field. So I have clicked on the create calculated field option. As soon as I click on it, I can see the pop-up like this. A window will display like this. So we have all functions displayed over here, and let me select string. So because trim, LTRIM and RTRIM, these three belongs to string functions. That's why I've selected string. And let me first create a calculation using trim function. So as soon as I type tr, I can see the trim function popped up over here. I'm clicking on that. So now I am passing product column inside trim, and I'm clicking on OK and renaming the calculation as trim. So when you click on trim, the right beside that you'll be able to see the syntax and the description of it and along with an example. So as I said, trim of string is the syntax and it returns the string with both leading and trailing spaces removed. So the example is like this, and I have created a calculation using trim function. Now I'm clicking on OK to save the calculation. Now I'm creating one more calculation to create to use LTRIM. So I typed in LT. As soon as I type LT, I'm able to see LTRIM function popped up over here. I have selected that and I'm passing product inside LTRIM. So I am renaming the calculation as LTRIM. I'm clicking on OK. And again, I'm doing the same to create one more calculated field to use RTRIM function. So I have used RTRIM and passing product column and renaming it as RTRIM. I'm clicking on OK. So all these calculations has been created, and now I am bringing these three calculations into the sheet right beside product so that we can see the difference easily. Let me bring LTRIM and let me bring RTRIM. So we have records which all types of records, like some records has space at the beginning, some records has space at the ending, some records has space at the beginning as well as ending. So if you observe this particular record, books, the space at the beginning. So this has been trimmed out. And if you observe this particular record, pens, it has space at the beginning as well as ending. So it got trimmed and displayed over here. And here if you observe cushion, the space at the ending. So that got trimmed and displayed over here. So if you observe this entire records under trim, so both the space at the beginning as well as the space at the ending both has been trimmed out and displayed the string. So let's observe LTRIM. So only the records who has space at the beginning got trimmed and the string has been displayed. And the same way, if you observe right trim, the left space has been ignored. Only the right space has been trimmed out. So if you observe books and chopper, these two has leftmost space at the beginning, uh, the space at the beginning of the string. So that's why it ignored the space at the beginning and it only concentrated on the space at the ending. So pens has space at the ending and cushion has space at the ending. So these all things got trimmed because it only focuses on the trailing space. So LTRIM focuses on beginning space and RTRIM focuses on trailing space, and TRIM focuses on both the spaces which is at the beginning as well as the ending. This is how you can find the difference between TRIM, LTRIM and RTRIM, and based on the differences or based on the requirement, you will be able to use the right function at the right time. Hope my video is helpful for you.
Thank you guys. Thanks for landing at my channel Laxmills31. If you like my video or like my content, please like, share and let me know in the comments what could have been better. And if you have any questions for me, do let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Have a nice day. Bye bye.